And it's been a while since I put out another real estate educational video for you guys. So I'm just gonna hop right into a quick lesson about five ways that real estate pays you, and little small example for each method. So jumping right in, the first way, as you probably know, is home appreciation. For those of you who've been in San Diego for a while, you've probably seen homes go from 300,000, $200,000 range up to the 600, even $1 million homes now in like Escondido or La Jolla, things like that. So before the housing bubble market crash, and I don't know what the rate is at currently, but before that, the national historical appreciation rate of homes was around 6%. So let's just take a easy number example of a home for $100,000, and let's say we put 20% down on the home and took a loan out for the $80,000 from the bank. Okay, let's say 2018 this time rolls around and our home has appreciated from $100,000 to $106,000. Now, instead of this only being a 6% return on the $100,000, remember we only paid $20,000 into the home. So, but we realized the 6% gain on the total home value, which is $100,000. So if you take that $6,000 appreciation you got on the total home value and you divide it by the skin in the game you have, which is your 20% down payment, your rate of return would be 30% just on appreciation. And we're going to compare this to one of the big tech stocks out there, Facebook, and we're going to look at January 6th, 2016. Its stock price was $105, and January 2017 the stock price rose to $117. And investors realized, if they bought and intercepted the stock at that stage and sold at that stage of January 2017, their return on investment would have been 11.42%. And remember, this is just only one way that real estate pays you, and it's consistent and predictable depending on what market you're in. Facebook, you can believe in the company, and it's pretty reliable that it will go up in value over time, but you never know. It could end up like BlackBerry. BlackBerry stock is like at $8 right now, but at its peak it was like at 80 something. You never know when a stock could do that, but with real estate, it's pretty more solid investment when it comes to retaining its home value, and inflation will always be pushing the prices of home up. Hopefully they will be appreciating faster than the rate of inflation. The rate of inflation is typically 4%. So real estate historic appreciation has slightly increased faster than the rate of inflation. All right, let's get into the second way real estate pays you is cash flow. Of course, that's the main reason why most buy and hold investors buy excuse me. That's the reason why most investors choose the buy and hold strategy for real estate. It's so they can rent it out and have a monthly stream of income from renting out that property to a family or a student or a group of people. So let's break down what cash flow is. Cash flow is the gross rent, meaning how much rent you'd pay to your landlord, minus the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, the property management, if you choose that route, or if you decide to self-manage yourself, you don't have property management cost, and then also vacancy. So the reason why you want to put maintenance and vacancy inside your model when you try to calculate your potential return on investment from renting out an investment property is so, one, houses wear and tear just like cars. You want to put some of the money that you're making from your tenant each month for those future rainy days. In 20 years you'll have to replace a roof, and that's $20,000. And if you're saving $50 a month, $60 a month, $100 a month, when that rainy day does happen, it's not going to hit your cash flow. You're going to have money stored away to compensate for that repair. And also for vacancy rates, you're not going to have a tenant in there for the 30 years that you own the loan. That'd be awesome. but typically, tenants will stay 1, 2, 4 years, depending how good you are as a tenant, or how much they love your property, or how good your property management company is and how they treat them. So you also want to put money away for those days, those months where your unit is vacant and you're trying to get a new lease signed into that property. So let's take this same example we did from the First Way Real Estate Pays You. $100,000 home, 20% down. So you borrowed $80,000 from the bank, and let's say your interest rate was at 5%, and let's say your gross rent is $1,000. Well, your PI, your mortgage, your principal and interest on your loan that you owe is $429. Your taxes is going to be $65. Your insurance is going to be $55. And these are actual numbers from Turnkey Properties in Birmingham, Alabama. And those properties sell for about $100,000 too. So these are real numbers in a real place. Typically, property management companies do charge about 10% of the gross rent. So 10% of $1,000 is $100 you're gonna have to pay. So you don't have any headaches. You don't have to answer any phone calls from tenants. You don't have to be fixing any toilets, things of that nature. Property management's gonna take that for you, and you're willing to pay them that premium, or not premium. You're willing to pay them for that service. Try to make your investment as passive as possible. You're also gonna be in this model, we're saying you'll have a 5% vacancy rate, which is 1 month out of every 2 years. And you're also going to have 5% of the maintenance cost, which is $50 of your $1,000. That could go up or down depending on a number of different things. Did you buy the property in great condition, or did you buy the property with only 3 years of a roof life left opposed to a brand new roof? So those are always things to factor in when you're choosing a potential property to buy. But let's say these are the numbers, and your net income is $250, which nets out to $3,000 a year. And your return on investment of that $20,000 you invested would be 15%. So from payment, the way real estate pays you through appreciation and how it pays you through cash flow, we're already sitting at 45% return on investment annually. Third way is going to be the loan pay down. Of course, that mortgage that you have, you're not paying for it, your tenant is. And with the same example we used before, we have a $100,000 home with $80K financed at 5%, and the tenant is paying around $1,200 annually, while the rest is in interest from that $429 a month. And if you take that over your $20,000, you're sitting at a 6% return. Fourth would be the tax benefit you're getting. You have 2 benefits as a real estate investor for providing livable housing for people. One would be the mortgage interest deduction. So that 5% you're paying, that 5% of interest you're paying on your $80K loan, you can deduct that from your taxes. And you can also depreciate your property for 27.5 years. This number is a little bit harder to calculate since we all make different amount of money and we're all in different income brackets. So it's hard to really calculate how much you'd really be saving. And once you find that number of how much you're saving on taxes, you put that over your $20,000, and that's your ROI from that. But let's be conservative and say you save $400 in taxes a year from your mortgage interest and depreciating the value of the home, which is $400 from the $20,000 you invested. And the fifth benefit is one that a lot of novice and well-seasoned investors typically don't think about. But when you take on debt, when you take on smart debt, or debt that's producing you money, you're really hedging yourself against inflation, because as the dollar gets devalued, rents will increase. So you're charging $1,000 a month. Maybe in 2 years you're charging $1,050, but your mortgage remains at that consistent $429, while you have an additional $50 in the 2 years, and then 2 years after that you have an additional $100 from when you first started. So we're also going to be conservative with that and say it's about a 3% return of investment of your $20,000, or $600 that you're earning per year from raising those rents and just having a fixed interest rate and a fixed loan locked in for that 30 years. So we're going to sum up with the 5 ways that real estate pays you: is appreciation, cash flow, tenant paying down your mortgage, the tax benefits you get for providing clean, safe, affordable housing for another person, and the hedge against inflation, because this is smart debt, not dumb debt. And once we sum all those numbers up, you're going to see that your return on investment could be something like 56%. And if that doesn't get your head spinning and like start considering more about other investment or about the real estate investment vehicle, I don't really know what will. I mean, this is what gets me excited when I'm analyzing deals, analyzing properties, and seeing these kinds of returns. Simply 5 different ways. Would you rather have one stream of income, or one way that, let me put it this way, would you want to hire a worker who does 5 jobs for you and generates money for you in 5 ways, or would you just have them doing 1 job? Right? I mean, it's variable. Like, never mind, I don't know what I'm trying to say. That's a bad example, but you can see how it's different from other asset classes that typically pay you in 1 or 2, maybe 3 ways. Real estate could pay you in 5 ways with a buy and hold model. And I just, if you guys want to talk to me more, learn more, find resources where you can learn more about this kind of stuff, like I'd love to talk with you guys about real estate and share with you what I've been learning, what I've been educating myself about, and how you can set yourself up now to have a future you thought you'd never have, maybe partly through real estate, partly through other investment vehicles. I just love talking about this stuff. So yeah, to all your success, happiness, wealth, and fulfillment, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video.